My procrastinator self was not happy with me because I had been posting a video every week. So this week was a bit of a struggle, but here we are. Okay, I want to show you how to turn this into something like this. Yes, we are talking about light switch plate covers, and this is such a fun project. I'm going to tell you what I love about it and why it's on my reuse channel. I know this is like a tiny bit. This is from a catalog page, and it is a very small bit of reusing or upcycling, you know, a catalog page. But what I love about it is it's this simple visual reminder, hey, we can give these things new life before we recycle them or get rid of them, and we can make them into some pretty fun projects along the way. I also love that it is a really fun, simple gift. Instead of having to go out and buy something that's had to go through the whole production process and transportation and all of that pollution and stuff, it's just a really simple gift where you potentially don't have to buy anything, but we'll talk about that in just a second. You can customize it to the person you're giving it to if there's something they really like, or if it's for a light switch plate at their business, you can kind of customize and make it unique to that person. I also love that you can make these for holidays or special occasions or the changing of the seasons. So instead of having to go out and buy a bunch of decorative stuff for your place, this is just one simple way that you can decorate and kind of get in the mood for that celebration. So you might make some holiday ones. You might make ones for birthday, maybe for Easter, fall or winter, or spring. There are just endless possibilities with this. So you're gonna need a piece of paper. Since this is about reusing, I recommend upcycled catalog pages or magazine pages. Pages from damaged books are great. Fabric scraps, old maps, pages from old calendars. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, in the past I have made picture frame I've covered picture frames with collage of old stamps, and so I think that would be a super cute light switch plate as well. I didn't make one of those yet, but I really like that idea. You're also going to need a light switch plate. If you own your home and you just want to use your light switch plate cover, cool. Light switch plate. If you don't want to do that, or if you're renting, then you are going to want to get a blank light switch plate cover. And you can find these at Home Depot or that kind of thing for not super expensive. But what I recommend, since this is all about reusing and reducing as much as possible, there are stores, I believe all across the United States at least, that are called Restore. They are connected with Habitat for Humanity. They have wonderful things. If you're ever doing a home project, they have so much for a lot cheaper than you would find it new. And one of the things I can always find there is light switch plates. They sell them for about 25 cents. Sometimes if it has more than one, light switch place, like two or three wide, sometimes they're 50 cents. They're awesome. What I love about it is even if they're kind of not perfect looking, which oftentimes they actually look pretty good, but you're just covering it up anyway, so no problem there. And then you're gonna need some sort of gluing medium. So if you want to use Mod Podge or something like that, any sort of decoupaging medium. I know there are ones you can make from home. I happened to have some Mod Podge on hand, so that's what I ended up using. But I am going to explore some other options for that as well. Really, if you find your light switch plate cover or use your one at home and you're upcycling your paper and you've got some sort of gluing medium, or you make some, we're looking at $1/4 for this project. So you're going to find the part of the paper that you would like to use. You might want to be tracing from the back side, so go ahead and mark your spot. As you can see here, I'm just kind of creasing where the actual plate is. And then I'm gonna flip it over and trace the light switch plate, then measure about an inch or so out from there. Doesn't have to be perfect. You could also eyeball this from the front and trace out your border about an inch from where the light switch plate is. So you choose. I just wouldn't trace the actual light switch plate on the part you're gonna see, if that makes sense. Then I go ahead and flip over the light switch plate and line up so I can outline where the actual light flip, the actual switch will go. And then I draw a little X. I guess you don't have to draw the X, but you're going to make an X with some sort of tool like an X-Acto knife. I recommend doing this ahead of time. As you'll see on this video, the first couple times I did this, I actually waited until after I had decoupaged the back, but I found, for me at least, it was easier to make that X before I started. Next, you're going to make some angled corners right up against that inner rectangle. And I used a ruler for this, although as you can see, my lines are not very precise. They don't really have to be, but in retrospect, I might have aimed for a little more preciseness, especially if I was gonna give this to someone. Not like you see the back of it when it's on the wall, but if you're giving it to someone, they're gonna see the back of it, obviously. Okay, so first you're going to paint the front of your light switch plate with your decoupage medium, and then go ahead and center it onto your piece of paper. It was much easier if I creased the back bits before decoupaging them down. That was really helpful, especially with a thicker material like this calendar page. Once you crease the back flaps a little bit, go ahead and decoupage them down. I am a very novice decoupager, so please forgive my technique. There also might be much, again, like I said, there also is probably a better, more eco-friendly choice than Mod Podge itself. We just happen to have this bottle on hand, so I used it. And I just have to disclaimer that these are gloves that I have actually reused countless times. These are from a stash that have seen a lot of reuse. In this particular one, I had not pre-cut the X, so I'm doing that now. Again, that making that little X ahead of time on the future ones I made was a much better way, for me at least. You might have to go over these cuts more than once, but then you should just be able to push the middle in and to the back. I kind of had so much general Mod Podge about, given my lack of skill with Mod Podge, that these sort of just stuck down by themselves by just pushing them into place. But I did go back over them, of course, to make sure that they stayed. And then I flipped the plate over and decoupaged the fronts, because I guess that's what you do. And then let them dry overnight, and voila! You've got this cool, beautiful light switch plate cover. I ended up doing the punching of the screw holes later, and I found the easiest way was actually just with a kind of a dull pencil. And sometimes I could see from the front where I had to punch the holes, and sometimes I had to sort of flip it over, make a tiny little hole from the backside, and then punch through the front. Again, this is where the screws are gonna go, so it's not a huge deal. You just don't wanna damage any of the work you've done. And to put these on your wall, seriously, it takes about 2 minutes, really fast, to take down the old light switch plate using an old-fashioned screwdriver, and then to put a new one up and get it into place. It's really fast. So again, these are great idea for having just a little something fun and extra for a holiday or celebration. The trickiest part of putting these on the wall is just sometimes getting the old light switch plate off. So just use your own safety and judgment on that. Sometimes just they've been kind of almost painted on. I found using like a slim butter knife, and just like not all the corners are, you know, look for a corner that might have a little bit of a gap to kind of help you out if you're trying to pry that off. But again, use your own judgment and safety with all of that. Don't want any paint scraped from your wall or dangerous metal and electrical parts. And then you've got these light switch plates, and they're so fun. If you are making these for a gift, you just have to pay attention to what kind of light switch covers that your recipient has in their, either it's their home or their business or whatever, because there's like these wide thick ones and then there's like the thinner ones, and some people have multiple light switches on each plate. Sometimes I have to do a little bit of investigative work and like zoom into pictures at people's houses and find out what kind of light switch plates they have, but it's a super fun gift. You could also use, you know, decorated plates for electrical outlets, or I know nowadays there's like lots of blink covers for where there used to be cable or phone access, and those I think would be super cute to do, like if you found a picture of a little door or a tiny little staircase or something like that. I think that'd be super fun. I tried to do one and it didn't work so far, but if I figure it out, I'll put a picture on my Patreon. Also on my Patreon, I'm gonna put just a few quotes that I think would be super fun quotes to put onto a light switch plate, just that have to do with light. I think that's it. I think these are so fun, and I find that once I'm making them, it's great just to make a bunch of them at once and just have them on hand, either for our future use or for future gifts. It's a really cool project and they don't take up a lot of room. But yeah, that's it. I hope you liked this project. Again, it's just a simple way to remind us to reuse, and it's a simple gift so we don't have to go buy stuff from the store. Thank you for being here. Your actions can and will make a difference.